So I couldn't connect on Friday. Were you waiting for me? Okay, well, I wondered if that might be the case. So anyway, I just decided not to make a video and just sent that email that I hope you got. I did send out also new radio parts just in case you didn't have the ones you needed. I don't know when those will get to you, but those should be for the transmitter. The transmitter required a few extra pieces that I forgot to send. For example, it required a headphone jack so that you could plug it into something to transmit, like plug it into your iPod or your cell phone or something, so you could transmit some sound of some kind, whatever that might be. But how is your radio design coming? Okay, so the website is in that email. Actually, I sent the website as well, but it's called SciToys. So SCITOYS, SciToys.com, and I'll show you that here right now. So this is the website right here, SciToys.com. Can you see that? And the website is technically called Science Toys. But if you go up here to the search on the left-hand side, and you search for simple radio, it will take you to a part where it has building a crystal radio out of household items, building a simple crystal radio, and a very simple AM voice transmitter. What we want to do is we want to look at the second one, building a simple crystal radio, and that one has the instructions for how to do this. They're wrapping a bunch of wire around a bottle, and they're connecting in a little diode here, which you can hopefully see in this picture. Let me zoom in on it. Ooh. So here's the diode. This little guy right here. Ugh, how come I can't make my screen work? Let me try this again. Yeah, the copper wire, and it's coated. The copper wire is coated with a coating that doesn't allow it to conduct electricity on the outside edge. So you have to sand that off, and that's in the instructions here as well, I believe. But this one has a green coating on it, and you can see the edges, the ends of it are sanded off. You leave the coating on where you're going to wrap it because you don't want the wire to touch in the middle, but at the ends here where you're going to connect your diode and where you're going to connect your little clips here, those you sand that stuff off until it's shiny, bright copper. Because copper is really bright when it's clean. The color of the coating on yours is kind of a dark orange, dark reddish color maybe. But as you wrap this up around here, what you're actually doing is you're wrapping it, you're making an antenna. And they do a very fancy antenna here that has these little loops sticking out. And so that you can connect it to different places in the antenna. You can see kind of how they do that here, these little loops sticking out. And you can do that or not do that. You can just make it one antenna. Doing that gives you a little bit more tunability so that you can get it just tuned to the right frequency and find a radio station. So that's helpful. Another thing that they do is they attach it to a little piece of wood here to make it all look nice and compact. And then they connect it to a telephone, an old telephone receiver, but I sent you the little headphone. So if you do have an old telephone receiver, that's great because you could actually use the the speaking part as a microphone for your transmitter. But then your transmitter and your receiver will be in the same place, and that won't be all that great of a feat to do this. You'd really like to have your transmitter on one side of the room and your receiver maybe in a different room or on the other side of the room, and then transmit from one to the other through the air using radio waves. So, were you able to figure out where this website is? Now for the second one, the first one is building a simple crystal radio. The second one that you're going to search for is the simple transmitter, and it's on the same search page actually, but if you just type in simple transmitter, it'll give you an AM voice transmitter and a computer controlled transmitter. We want to do is AM voice transmitter. So if you have an AM voice transmitter, the two parts that I think that I sent you to start with were this little transformer here, and then I think that I did give you the oscillator here as well. But I didn't give you any clips, and I didn't give you a connector for a battery, and I didn't give you a headphone cable. Now I think that I've provided all three of those. You should be in good shape. I also provided clips that you can clamp onto. The ends of the wires if you need to. You can also just twist them together and tape them, or if you have a soldering iron, you can solder them. It's not terribly difficult to solder. So, any other questions about that project? Oh, the end of last week, maybe between Wednesday and Friday. The thing is, I'm not sure when it leaves. I put it in the mail here, and then they take it to another mailing place. I don't know why they do this. And then they send it off from there. I'm thinking I sent it Thursday, but it might have been Wednesday. But I don't know. It could have, but with the delay with the other mail place, it might have gone as late as Friday. But hopefully you'll get it soon. It shouldn't take more than a day or so to get to your place. So you should have it today or tomorrow at the very latest, I would think. Mail even runs on weekends, so it should get to you soon. But if it doesn't get to you, then we'll have to send it again, I suppose. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. So what are you missing from the simple crystal radio? Oh, like what? What does it look like? Okay, so what those are, you know what, I think, let's go back to our AM voice. Simple radio again. Oh, that's right. I actually sent you to the wrong place. Did I do that last time? I can't remember. This is actually the one we want to go to. We want to go for building the radio receiver. You want to actually go to the building a radio in 10 minutes. That's the one you want to do. I apologize. I keep forgetting. Yeah, so if you go to the one where you're building a radio in 10 minutes, you have this set up here where you actually are going to use that coil that I provided instead of making your own. And that coil that I provided has a insert that goes through it that you can adjust. You can actually push that in and out and adjust. What that does is that helps you to tune the radio a little bit. And then this thing that has the volume, the thing that looks like a volume thing, that is a variable capacitor. It should be anyway. And then you have the diode, which is actually, I think the diode that I gave you is it a little black thing with 3 legs on it, or is it a little thing with 2 legs on it? Is it a little glass? So it's a little glass deal, kind of see-through. Okay, so yeah, that's the diode that's in this picture. And then you have the earpiece, right? So yeah, I actually sent you the wrong one. I can't remember if I sent you the wrong one on Friday or Wednesday or not. But anyway, this one, this one's at Side Toys, building a radio in 10 minutes. Not the building a simple crystal radio. You want to build the radio in 10 minutes, Mark. And that's the one you want to do. Thank you for pointing that out. Now this one, they actually do have you build an antenna as well, and they don't actually tell you exactly how to do that. They have one of these wires that goes to ground, and they have one that goes to the antenna. Well, I guess it's not that they don't tell you how to do it, they just don't show you a picture of it, I don't think. Yeah, they don't show you a picture. So let's, I think, let's see, if you have a long antenna, not too close. Yeah, so essentially your antenna can, for an AM radio, can really just be a long wire. It doesn't take much to be an antenna for an AM radio. I've had some students, coil up a wire, and that can help as well, but it doesn't really need to be that. But also you need to realize that there are two wires coming off this coil. Actually there are 4. You need to make sure that you have the right ones connected to the right thing. The big coil goes to the ground, the big coil goes to the capacitor. The wires coming off the bigger coil. The smaller coil, which is wrapped around a tiny little piece of plastic right inside of it, those ones go to the ground and to the antenna. So if you mix those up, you're guaranteed to not have it work, because the coil connected to the capacitor is what makes a radio amplifier work. What it's actually doing is it's actually taking a very weak signal from the air, and it's amplifying it through a resonant circuit in the coil and the capacitor. And you adjust the coil and the capacitor until you find the station. The best thing is to adjust the capacitor first and see what kind of station you can get close to, and then to do a fine-tune adjustment with the coil by moving the rod inside and out, in and out of the coil. But anyway, read the instructions very carefully, and it will help you to do that as well. Remember that you are supposed to keep a logbook or a work journal of this. So you should be listing steps that you're taking. You should be writing down things that you're observing. You should be taking pictures of things that you're doing, and making sure that the work that you do every day on this has been logged into your logbook. That is going to be turned in. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no more questions, I'm going to give you the time to work on your project. I will be available if you have any questions by email or phone call. So have a good one.